So, welcome. You're an agent, obviously. How you doing, man?
Yeah, I passed my exam 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, awesome deal. Right. So this is the part where we're qualifying potential buyers and sellers. How long you got? You have your license?
Like a month.
That's it?
Yeah.
You're rolling like a pro already. Strong. Month, okay. Hello out there in Zoom land. So this is the part where we learn how to qualify potential buyers and sellers. Hey, Jim, you coming in or you gonna be on Zoom? Jim. Jim, are you on Zoom or you coming in here? No, I got to do something else. Okay. Or. Yeah. So my name is Chris Vlahos. I'm with the A team. We're in that second in the middle office right there. Awesome. Our door's always open. So if you guys have questions, that come in. I got my license in 2007, December.
Oh, right before.
Shortly after, about 6 months later, 2008, boom, the market tanks out. And they said, well, you should have picked a hell of a time to get your license. Like, okay, I don't know anything about anything. So I didn't know what a short sale was. It didn't matter to me.
Yeah.
I got my license, so I was just completely green. Had no idea what anything was. And I didn't get my license to quit. You know, to be a quitter. So I'm like, they go, if you make this through this market, you make it through any market. Okay, cool. Stuck with it. And 18 years later, here we are. That was 2007, 2008. Yeah. Crazy. So I've been through a lot. I've done literally hundreds of open houses, worked with hundreds of buyers and sellers throughout my career. So I guess that's why one of the reasons I'm here. I have a pretty good grasp on how to qualify buyers and sellers. Today's agenda, we're going to find motivated. You're going to see that word used quite often, motivated. They classify it by able, ready, and willing. Sometimes you hear ready, willing, and able. But the way they're doing is they put the word able first, and we'll get into that as to why.
Or alphabetic.
Yeah, yes. I learned how to do it. It's just like, think of the word raw, R-A-W.
Makes sense.
Easier to remember, but they want to put the word able first. And I guess we'll explain why. Qualified buyers and sellers, recap and all, and if we have time, we'll get to the daily success system. You guys don't have the book. Okay, cool. For those of you who can hear me on Zoom, some of these slides that I have in my presentation are going to be different than what you have in your book. I've added some slides of my own. I've kind of changed some of the ones that were given to us. So, sorry, I'm just putting my my own touch, my own personal touch, because I want you guys to get a dose of call it reality, like real. I put in here some actual pre-approvals, pre-qualifications, and some of the buyer questionnaires I have copies of. The buyer's questionnaires that I actually filled out with actual clients that I've worked with and closed deals on. So your number one job as a real estate agent is to always find ways to get to the path of motivated buyers and sellers. That word again, motivated, right? There it is again, find the motivated. So when we're new to something, you know, it can be easy to get caught up in what they call misunderstandings, anything that blocks success. And I don't know if you guys remember day one about limited beliefs. That's basically what misunderstandings are. That little drunk monkey in your head that's bending your brain around, not making any sense. The truth is that lead generation for buyers and sellers doesn't have to cost money. I put there in parentheses, i.e. pay per lead services. I don't know if you've heard of those before.
Like Vulcan 7.
Yeah. So what they do, so agents can generate through their sphere, referrals, prospecting, open houses, social media. Instead of the word can, it should say should. Agents should. There's some things in this business that are non-negotiable. I'll get into that a little bit later. Going back to the pay-per-lead services. You haven't heard of those yet?
Like pay per lead
Yeah.
services? No,
There's somebody like you said, like Vulcan 7. You'll probably get emails and phone calls from these guys saying that you pay, how much is Vulcan 7?
Like $300 a month.
$300
Is that what you were
a
telling
month.
me about?
That's the one I was saying, the cold calling this.
And they guarantee certain leads. Okay. I don't know too many people that have ever been successful with a pay per lead service. I'm sorry about that. And just gotta get my phone here. Years ago, I got a call from those guys and they're saying, yeah, we have the greatest leads in the world and they're all pre-qualified. And so I started asking them questions. Okay, what areas? He goes, for your area. I'm like, okay, what area am I in? He goes, Torrance? You mean Torrance? He goes, yeah, that. Like, okay, really?
Hey.
So they really had no idea where I was. And I said, what kind of buyers? You know, these are, I guess, buyer leads.
Mhm.
I said, what kind of people we're talking about? Are these families? He goes, that's, you know, what your part to do. So you don't really qualify them then. You just kind of, I'm supposed to pay for these leads that maybe qualify. I guess they qualify them financially. They may have pre-approvals, things like that. But you are the only ones who should be qualifying leads. Nobody else, not your friends, your relatives, uncles. Hey, I got a great person for you. None of that. Nobody should be doing it but you. So let's take a look at some data that can help us uncover the truth and dispel some of those myths. This was actually, I guess, produced in 2021. It was about 4 years old. So accuracy probably still pretty much the same. We have all buyers first time and repeat. And these are, okay, I'm not gonna use the mouse. These are where they come from. Referral from, or is a friend of a neighbor or relative. Those are the highest ones. I can't even click on, oh man. Not a touch screen, no, I can't.
Oh, will you?
Oh,
Sorry, man.
I
I don't think we can, like, you can admit it.
can't even, the mouse. I gotta admit somebody.
Oh,
Is there someone working the front? Oh, sorry. Okay. Solani, we're gonna let you in. I see you're in the waiting room, so sorry about that. For some reason, the mouse isn't working on the system. So of those who used an agent previously for a transaction, you notice the drop off. See, we're at
mhm.
47, 57, 41. These are where buyers found their agents from. And then it drops off severely. I mean, less than half, way less than half, and about half. Thank you. Inquired about a property they saw online, 777. I think that might be a little higher now because everyone is online. Through a website, I guess that would mean like an agent's personal website that they built. Yeah. For sale, open house signage, it's very low, 5%. Referral from another agent, again, that's pretty low. And then visited an open house. Most people aren't going to open houses to find buyer agents. They're all, if you look at the numbers here, especially first timers, the referrals are where the business is at. So you have a database in your phone, right? How many people in your phone know that you're a realtor? Does everybody know or just
Now, yeah.
now?
I'm almost there.
Almost there?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, good deal. So this is your lifeline, actually, part of it. So I hate to say it, but it is. Good. This is where sellers. Let's see if I go more. This is where sellers down the agent. Again, same thing. If you notice though, these numbers are pretty high still. The agent previously for a transaction, they're still a lot higher than, if you look at the buyers, 13, 2, and 19. But for sellers, it's 29, 24, and 31. There's a lot higher ratio. And then when you get to the person contacted by agent, it just goes down from there. So, I like open houses. I don't know why this is so low. I guess it is. I'm definitely within that 2%. Open houses, I think, are one of the greatest sources of lead generation that you can find, and it's free. The mindset change that I went through years ago was when I do an open house, I'm not looking for buyers. I'm looking for sellers.
Neighbor or something.
Labor, because when you have a listings-based business, you have full control pretty much of everything. Because when you have a listing, what normally comes? Buyers. Now, even more now than in the past, we're getting a lot of buyers that go directly to the listing agent. They don't want to have to deal with the buyer agent. Sometimes they do it because they think they have a better shot at getting their offer accepted. So I love doing open houses. I have gotten so many listings just from open houses alone. Like you said, the neighbors come in. They're looking, yeah, I just want to see what's going on. They don't tell you they live next door. You start asking questions and things like that. Also, they're asking, or they're waiting to see what the home sells for.
And that gives them an idea.
Mhm. All of a sudden, it's funny because when one home sells, all of a sudden 3 or 4 more around it start to sell. They're just waiting for that one person to sell. They got 850. Okay, cool. Our house is bigger and better. We could probably get 900. So I've gotten contacted like that so many times just from open houses. I met you at my open house. I like the way you guys do business. They're so nice, whatever they say. That's why you always got to be like cordial in open house because you never know who you're gonna get. I had a neighbor come in. They didn't tell me that they grew up. They spent more time in the house that we were selling because when they were growing up, they were best friends next door. And we ended up selling their house only because I was truthful and there were some things that the owner didn't want us talking about. They were testing me to see what I would say. The neighbors were. And they go, I like the way when we ask you certain things, you knew not to divulge the information. So that was a big, big thing.
They were testing.
They were testing me. I had no idea. They said, you know, when we met you, we didn't want to say anything because we wanted to see what you were going to say, how much information you were going to give about the property. They were mainly concerned about there was a death in the property, and the owners didn't want any of that information getting out of how they died. So I just, I can't talk about that. Oh, okay. So always professional. Okay, so shoot, I can't minimize that stupid part anymore. Ready, willing,
And able.
yeah, I guess so. So we start with the word able. So we can devote the right amount of time and resources for potential clients based on their needs and where they are. So remember, I don't know if you're familiar with the Keller Williams, it's the WI4 C2 TES. Is customers always first. So the W is for win-win. The I stands for integrity. This is how they code it. 4C means 1, 2, 3, those 4 C's, right? So customers, commitment, communication, creativity. 2 T's, right? 2T, teamwork and trust. And then equity and success. So, and then just another thing to remember is that even though leads and contacts have potential, they're not always going to close something right now. Some contacts may not be able to buy or sell at this time. Sometimes buyers are still working on their credit to get their credit established better so they can have a higher down payment before they can get a mortgage. And a seller may not be ready to sell because they don't have full rights to the property. They may have a non-mortgage lien on the property, or sometimes the siblings aren't in agreement. What's a non-mortgage lien? You have any ideas? That might be.
Yeah, like some type of money lien that's on the property, like the tax lien.
Could be a tax lien, or you ever heard of a mechanics lien?
Yeah.
Contractor goes out, does work,
Okay.
owners refuse to pay them.
And then,
So the mechanic will, the contractor will put a mechanics lien on the house, sure, absolutely. Sometimes siblings are not in agreement. We just had this happen where it's been a trust, a family trust. His brother and sister, they're the only survivors. They were at each other's throats for some reason. They both lawyered up.
Yeah.
They both got lawyers. I mean, it happens. I hate to say it, but. So, you guys need more time on the slide? If you want, I can email you this stuff. Even in the entire presentation. So focus becomes increasingly possible. Yeah, no. Focus becomes increasingly possible in the direction proportionate to how clear you are about what you want, when you want it, and what you must do to get it. Right? Your intentions are clear, path is easy. Okay, able, ready, and willing. So if you come from honest curiosity, it involves a lot of questioning to get to the root of motivation and ability. So make it conversational, not interrogational when you're asking these questions. So that's why I said, come from honest curiosity. I'm really curious. You mentioned something about you're going to be moving to Florida. Interested to know a little bit more about that. A little bit more. So able is, potential client is financially, and you'll notice throughout this, I have asterisks and stuff, and there's always a point I'll come back to on those. So if a potential client is financially and legally capable of completing a transaction now, ready, potential client is motivated, there's that M word again, right? And prepared to make strategic decisions now, and willing, potential client is eager to buy, sell, or both. And in the best case scenario, you come to somebody, in order to buy their new home, they have to sell their current home first, and they want to use you for both transactions. That's like the mother load. That's the best transaction you get, yeah. So that asterisk next to the word financially, you have to know the difference when you're pre-qualifying your buyers. They're going to come to you. The difference between a pre-qualification or pre-qual and a pre-approval. You guys know what the difference is?
Pre-approval being actual, like from the lender saying
Yes,
you've been pre-approved for X amount.
yes, exactly.
And then pre-qualification would just be like, oh, you have good credit, you got good income, right? Like they kind of check the boxes
Mhm.
of the generic, but
Mhm.
they don't have something to say, let's go buy that house.
Right.
Right now.
They do have a pre-qualification letter, and the next slide shows it. But the main difference is like, if somebody wants to get a loan, they just go online, look up a lender, they call a lender. And it says, hey, Mr. Lender, I want to buy a house. Lender says, okay, let me know what's your income, your assets, your liabilities. So based on the questions that he asks, and he just has his loan app up, he types in all the information. So based on what you've told me over the phone, it looks like you'll be able to qualify for this amount, 860, 850, whatever it is. But I still have to run your credit. I still need your W-2s. I still need your tax returns. So until I get all of those, it's just a pre-qualification. It's not worth the paper that it's written on, to be honest. And this is an actual pre-qualification letter from a buyer that actually I had to let go a few weeks ago. It's out in Louisville, Kentucky. So if you notice here, property address to be determined 860 VA. I highlight these because when I talked to the lender, I said, this is for, what's his name, Mike. And he still owed him income and asset docs. He never shared that with the lender. So this one pretty much stopped dead in its tracks. Also, Leon Bennett, the lender, this was the second of 4 lenders that this guy has to. Yeah, we call him a lender hopper or lender shopper, but I call them lender hoppers. So after knowing this, he wanted somebody local. So I said, hey, this is right there, dude, just like the rest of the business. So he got farther than this guy did. But when it came to the income and asset things that Chris asked for, he hit the same wall. And then the guy just dropped out. And then he got a 4th lender. But by then my seller's like, no, let's get rid of this guy. He's no good. He's hiding something. So other lender requirements, like I said, Tax returns, they typically want 2 years. The lender has to have permission from the buyer to run the credit. They just can't just run it. And then VOE, the verification of employment. Okay. This is actually a dream client. This is one of our clients that we had 2 years ago. This is what a good pre-approval. This is an actual pre-approval. It looks like pre meaning preliminary. And there's a lot of parts to this we're gonna get into. So the purchase price is 1.18. Down payment 118,000, which means his down payment was 10%, right? Loan amount of 1,062,000. That's how much the bank's gonna loan. Incredible. So final approval for a home loan is subject to re-verification of all information provided and satisfaction of conditions not limited to the following. There it is again: income, assets, liabilities, employment have not materially changed. So what that means is that what they're saying is
You didn't get fired during the process of buying a house.
exactly, right? Or what they're saying is, in this case here, it says have not materially changed, which means this buyer sent everything that they asked for. So they're saying, as long as this stuff that you sent us doesn't materially change, and what they mean by materially change is, as long as it hasn't gone down dramatically. If it goes up, that's fine. But if your income drops, like you said, you lose your job or something like that, then they really, red flags will pop up in the lender's mind. An acceptable appraisal, of course, clear title, of course, sufficient and verifiable funds to close, proof of funds. In the next couple slides, I'm going to get into some fun things that I've inserted here. Final underwriting approval, I'll get back to that. And notice at the bottom it says, this pre-approval expires 60 days from issuance and is subject to industry guideline changes. This letter does not constitute a contract nor a guarantee of specific rates or terms.
Is that normal? The
Yeah.
60 days?
60 or 90. Each lender is going to be different.
But it's usually that close to the window.
Yeah, it's usually-
60 is just to apply more pressure to them.
No, it's just because the lender has to keep processing all of their information, and then the interest rates fluctuate day by day. So at a certain point, they're gonna have to do a loan lock. They want to lock their loan in at a certain percentage. So if they wait like 90 days, I mean, that could be a drastic change in the
Yeah,
market.
you go back up.
Interest rate goes up 0.25%, and then it just throws them out of the game
Yeah.
completely. So a lot of, it used to be 90, I'm seeing a lot more 60s now, so.
So pretty much when your client gets this, you as their agent say, okay, we got 60 days to put an offer.
Yeah, not necessarily, well, yeah, it expires in 60 days, so they can just renew it though. As long as anything has not, again, materially changed that much, they can just rerun the numbers again and spit out a new pre-approval with a new date.
But it might change if the rates got higher or something, then that
Yes,
1.1 might be a little lower because they can't afford.
could be. Yes,
So
exactly.
your goal is really 60 days, like trying
Yeah, I would get them in there before you can,
Yes.
as soon as you can. Again, the buyer's gonna have to, it says there, it's not a guarantee of rates or terms.
to.
So they have to lock the loan in, the rate. And that usually happens a lot later. I mean, just right before they finalize the pre-approval, they'll lock their loan in. Any rights, the last sentence, any rights related to this letter are not assignable. Unassignable. It's
No, you can't give it to somebody
Can't
else.
give it to anybody else.
right. It's your income, your assets, your liabilities, your social security number. You can't just
Yeah, you can't.
toss it off to a family member. So yeah.
And if there were like multiple people on the pre-approval, would it
Mhm.
say like all of their names, I guess, or
Yeah.
whatever? Gotcha.
There's usually only two, but yeah, you'll have. Jason, his wife was Lisa. But he was the only one who was qualifying on this.
Gotcha.
So
But if it was like Jason, Lisa, and Bob or whatever,
Yeah.
all three. would-
there would be all three of them, yeah. So lenders, here's that re-verification. Lenders may choose to re-verify the buyer's income credit anytime they want during the escrow period. Let's just recheck that guy again. Or if the buyers want to increase their offer when competing with others. So in this case, his pre-approval was for 1.18. We found a house for them, and the listing agent graciously told me, he goes, we're at 1.25 right now. That's the highest one. So I relayed that information to Jason and Lisa. I said, we're at 1.25. What do you want to do? we go 1.3? Dang, 1.3. So I said, you know, at 1.3, that's gonna probably severely increase your mortgage payment. They go, okay, that's fine. We'll just talk to the lender and find out. So I called, I guess his name was Max, the lender.
Mhm.
I said, Max, we're in a multiple offer situation. They want to write for 1.3. That's $120,000 higher. Can they do it? He goes, I got them at 1.5,
Oh,
but they don't want to go that high because they don't want a $10,000 mortgage.
Yeah.
I said, okay, what is 1.3 going to do to them? He goes, I'll run it through. So I asked him, I go, can you just run it through and then can you give them a call and let them know what their payment's going to be? I think it'd be better if they hear from me instead of me. And so within an hour, he calls them up, gave them the amounts, and they said, yeah, let's do it. They were 1.3, it was, I think, maybe $300 or $400 more a month.
oh,
Yeah,
that's
so
it,
it's
really?
really- Yeah,
I thought it was gonna be more.
it was 120,000 over that.
Yeah,
So it was, I think maybe it was 400 more than they anticipated at first. But they wanted the house
that's not
that
bad,
bad.
though, for 120K.
They're bringing their retired mother in with them.
Mhm.
That's why they needed like a giant house.
Yeah,
So with her retirement and stuff, she's helping them. And so it worked out. So here's underwriting. And final underwriting, it's a general term. Underwriting is a process that lenders use to determine the credit worthiness of a potential customer and minimize risk to the lender. There's all kinds of different, more in-depth, detailed definitions of what underwriting is. I just wanted to put that in there because it's the.
when I bought my house a few years ago,
Mhm.
I was the second offer, the first offer they accepted.
Mhm.
And then during escrow, the lender found out that the guy was fired.
Who was fired?
The first guy who,
Listing
was-
agent?
no, the buyer, I guess.
Oh, the buyer.
He got fired and he didn't say anything.
Oh, shoot.
And
You
the
got fired
lender
from
found
job.
out, yeah, and so
Oh,
that,
man.
like, they didn't approve him. And so that's how I wasn't so interested because he was doing like above ask.
Yeah.
And so that's why he beat me out, but once he was out of the picture,
Well, we usually don't want to
yeah.
celebrate people's demise.
No, I know.
But it works out, right? So this is his proof of funds. This is the bank statement for the proof of funds. So he owed, remember his down payment's 118,000. So you have to have a minimum of that and more for the non-recurring closing costs. He sent us his pre-approval. So here, I mean, this again is a dream client. We have the financial institution.
Sorry. So
Yeah.
they have to have double the 118.
No, he just added it to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you don't have whatever your down payment is.
You gotta have a
And they-
minimum.
Yeah, so
I would even start at like 125, 130
For the closing
for
costs.
the closing costs that you're gonna incur. There's title fees, there's escrow fees, there's non-recurring closing costs that you're gonna incur. So to make a seller and a listing agent feel comfortable and confident, and also if there's an appraisal issue, they wanna make sure that you're gonna,
yeah.
if the seller doesn't wanna lower the price, can the buyer come out of his pocket and take care of it? So that's just the absolute bare minimum. If somebody showed me a proof of funds for 120,000,
You'll be,
I'd be kind of nervous about that. And that's all you have. A lot of sellers aren't taking offers because of just that. Yeah, so. The only number, so here, we have financial institution, we have a date, 5/25 is the most recent. There's a toll-free number and then there's a website. The only number I'm really concerned about in date is this right here, 529,761. Well overqualified
Yeah.
to buy the house. I'm not concerned about anything else down there. These are, oh my gosh, I can't, just see if I can. Yeah. Okay, I just did this. These are questionable, to me, they're unacceptable. There's no name or no date, and there's no financial institution. These are basically screenshots from a mobile device, obviously, right? These are actual proof of funds that buyer agents sent us on one of our listings. Okay, so can you send your pre-approval, send the proof of funds? So they sent the pre-approval, the offer, and this is their proof of funds. Right, there's 3 of them. So this one, cash account, joint cash. So the actual available is But who does this belong to?
Yeah. no bank.
Yeah.
What date is this? What financial institution holds it?
When was this?
What the heck is it? I mean, you could have downloaded this from the internet. This one is a little bit better because it's, I can see the last numbers of the account number. But again, we're still, who does it belong to? What financial institution? This one was the better of the three, but still. The one with there's no name on it. There's an amount. We have a date, April 3rd, but from what year?
Yeah.
2 years ago, this year? And now we have, it's Coinbase, so we know who it,
Yeah,
It
where's
is.
that?
but it's Coinbase like makes a lot of people nervous. Bitcoin,
Yeah.
Coinbase stuff, because that could be gone in seconds.
Investments.
Yeah. It's not real money, that's digital currency, right? So. Needless to say, none of these were accepted, yeah. You have to be able to, when you get these, your buyers are gonna probably give these to you as well. You have to be able to have that tough conversation with them. And tell them, look, this is not acceptable. I can't take this. If you were a seller and you saw this statement with no name or date or anything else on it, would you be comfortable taking this? Most of the time, the answer is no. So this is just some of the things that you definitely will come across. The longer you stay in this business, you work with buyers, you're gonna work with sellers. When you have the listings, the offers that you get, this is what you're gonna get. You will get stuff like this too. Majority are gonna be like this, but again, you're gonna run across some of these. Classify your opportunities. So you have A, B, and C, buyer and seller. The A is
Excuse
of
me,
course
can
related by.
I ask something?
Hello?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, is this L?
Omer,
This is Omer, yeah.
Omer, okay.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask you, what kind of conversation would you have if you want to keep the client at the end of the day? You don't want to just tell them, hey, like, I can't help you, your credit score is low. What would you do to to try your best to get this client and keep them for a long time until they're able to?
Have them talk to a lender if they haven't already. If they have credit that's so bad that it's impeding them from even getting a pre-approval, there's nothing you can do. Really.
well, and just remember, Omer, you can ask the questions, find out what is causing the credit issues. It might just be like a collections thing or something, and there are, I know there's vendors that here Keller Williams uses that helps remove collection stuff from their
They can, yeah.
credit. I mean, it depends on the circumstances, right? But you can look at all that.
It all depends on the circumstances and how bad it really is. If they've had a foreclosure in the past, what is that, 7 years? They have to wait. They have to do, some damage control. And the only thing you can really do is, I've had that happen a lot of times. And I've had buyers, I thought they were dead, and then 2 years later, they just, they rose from the dead, they came back, said, hey, remember us? We had the credit issues back then, we got all that cleared out, and we're ready to go now. So I guess the best you can do is just say, maybe refer them to a credit, somebody who fixes credit. But you gotta be careful with those services too, because a lot of times they cost a lot and they don't really do much. So first thing I would do is probably refer them to a lender. Just to see, because they have like the inside scoop, maybe they can actually do stuff too. The lenders can actually help with reducing bad credit as well. Chris Rivera here. Yes. Go ahead.
But you're saying definitely stay in touch with them because you never know what they will do. Like later on, they will come back to you as that.
Absolutely. Depending again, can you see the screen? Are you?
Yes, I can see
Okay.
this.
So they're probably going to be a C buyer, right? 2 months or more if they have bad credit issues. So whatever drip system you want to put them on, whatever kind of contact system you want to put them on, keep them on it. Absolutely. What I did was in situations like that, because they feel defeated, totally deflated. I know their birthday, I'll send them a birthday card. It's the holidays, I'll send them a Christmas card. It's not your fault, or maybe it is, but you don't want to let them know that. You don't want to make them feel like oh my God, this is like the worst thing ever to me. I can't buy a house. I'm a loser. You don't ever want to make them feel like that. They realize that you can't do anything for them, really, that you didn't get them in that situation. Now they have to claw their way out of it somehow. But just keep in contact with them periodically. You don't want to send them too much because then it's like, why are you sending me stuff? I can't afford to buy a house. And you don't want to send them further into depression, you know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah, thank you very much.
Cool. I don't know if that answered your question or not. Okay, we're gonna qualify buyers and sellers now. Why qualify? You have to. You gotta find out who you're working with, make sure they're able to buy a home. Document, follow a checklist, abide by fair housing regulations.
So document, oh, okay, I guess you're gonna go through it.
Yeah.
I was like, document what?
I can't, okay, that's okay. This is a copy of my buyer qualification lead sheet that I use. I have some here. First question, how soon would you like to be in your new home? How long have you been seriously looking? What's important to you about buying a home? Are you working with another agent? BRBC signed. If somebody says, yes, I'm working with another agent, our first thought is like, okay, you're working with another agent, I can't work with you. Because nowadays they have to have a BRBC signed, which is the buyer representation broker compensation, right? But even though somebody says, yes, I'm working with an agent, they may be non-exclusive. They can have a non-exclusive agreement. And I'm only working with this one agent for this one specific property. If that's the case, then yeah, you can sign them.
Or they might not be happy with the current agent. or whatever.
Exactly. But let's just say somebody has an exclusive BRBC signed with a buyer agent. They're not happy with them. They want to start working with you. Before you do that, you have to make sure that they cancel that BRBC. They have to send the cancellation, I think, probably to their broker. You have to cover all your grounds, dot every I, cross every T before you sign anything with them and before you start showing them houses. You have to make sure that they're 100% completely canceled. And there actually is a cancellation of buyer agreement. It's a form on the MLS. I just did that a few weeks ago to that guy. So just be aware of that. Have you already started working with a mortgage lender? Do you have a pre-approval, the amount, loan type, down payment? How long ago? Again, there's that 60-day, and you have to, if it's past 60 days, you want to make sure to get them updated. Desired price range. Are you willing to offer above asking price? In the case of Jason and Lisa, absolutely.
What if they say no,
Mhm.
like then, they're like, we don't even want to go to the 1.5, we want to stay at this, but then the circumstance of a specific house. So it wouldn't hurt in the future if you had this originally as no, and then they
Nope.
did anyways?
I can't tell you how many times they said no.
Yeah, they ended up doing
They
it.
ended up doing it anyway.
Because they found their perfect home.
We
or-
gotta have this house. What do I have to do to get this house? Well, you gotta come up to 1.3. Done. Okay, even though they said
Originally.
no or maybe.
Would you go back and change it or no?
No, this is your own personal questionnaire. Nobody gets this but you.
Gotcha,
Yeah,
gotcha.
so this is only for my personal records,
Gotcha.
but I keep every one of these because I have to refer back to it. When we first met, you mentioned,
This,
You wanted- yeah. so you have this is your way of keeping track
Okay.
of everything. Primary and secondary areas. This is extremely important, and this is where you have to know your market. This is where previewing properties.
Like what cities they want to,
Everything.
Dean, that's Torrance, whatever.
Exactly, and we get into that in the next couple slides. Do you have a home to sell before you can buy your next home? Yes or no? Do you currently own rent? If they rent, and they're on a lease, when does their lease expire? Or are they month to month? Other could mean like they're living at home with their mother until they find. That's a dream plan right there. Besides you, are there any other decision makers? Then the home search, SFR is single family residence, condo, townhome, how much are they willing to pay maximum for the HOA?
And if they don't know,
for a condo or townhome. They may have it in mind because you gotta keep in mind, whatever amount they have in that HOA is gonna affect their purchasing power.
yeah, it is.
It's gonna lower their purchasing power. Could be by a lot. If the HOA is like $500 or $600 a
Yeah,
month,
some of them are high.
that can really just change their zip code to somewhere they don't want
What
to
does that
live.
mean?
What's that?
What does that mean, max HOA?
Basically, it's like in a condo or a townhome, you gotta pay like monthly fees or annual.
It's a
fees.
homeowners association
Oh,
fee.
okay.
Yeah. You're paying for the pool, you're paying for the gym, you're paying for the maintenance, the grounds, the gate, all that stuff. So they charge you a
And that's for condo and town.
condo and townhomes, yeah.
In some neighborhoods.
Some neighborhoods,
Yeah.
Irvine will have,
So us as agents, if
Mhm.
we get somebody to get into like a townhome or a condo,
Mhm.
we get commission for that too.
oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
As long as it's a
so-
legitimate listing, yeah, if it's listed on the MLS, you'll probably get something,
That's it.
yeah. You have to ask the agent though. Bedrooms, bathrooms, attached garage. Pool, stories, is a fixture okay, and if so, how much, what type of work are you willing to do? I put in here, because I learned over years of experience, must-haves and do not want. Sometimes I
Like
pay
what's a
more attention
kicker?
to do not want than the must-haves. Because here, this is the actual,
Oh,
so this is my, can you guys see that okay?
Yeah,
Okay. The top half, forget about it, that's just all, I just filled that in. So how soon would you like to buy your new home? Be in your new home? Oh, shoot,
yeah.
that it. How soon would you like to be in your home? Before July 31st. Usually people will say, maybe a month or two in the summer. They were very, very specific
Is that either like school or something?
for a very good reason. We'll get to that. How long have you been seriously looking? It was about a year, but they took 9 months. It took about 3 months because they were fixing their credit.
I
Yeah,
get
credit
that.
issues. They had a bad realtor experience.
That's-
So
Yeah.
this realtor was sending them things, areas that they didn't want.
Mm.
I can't really blame the realtor 100% on that. There were some other things he probably did. When you set up a search for a city and a specific area, you have no control over the houses that they get. Right? They're gonna get everything in their criteria,
mhm.
the good stuff and the bad. If you have a conversation with them, preempt them, say, hey, look, you're looking for Gardena 90247. That covers a pretty wide range, and in your price range, there's a lot of good properties, a lot of bad ones. Okay, I can't really go through there and
Control it.
I can't pull out the bad ones. So don't get mad at me, don't shoot the messenger, I'm just a messenger. That's just what you're gonna get. You go, okay, yeah, no worries, no worries.
But you told them ahead.
But you
of time.
told him ahead of time. This guy apparently didn't. He just sent them stuff and he didn't really keep in touch with me either.
Mhm.
Didn't care about it too much. Okay, this is for Jason and Lisa. There you go. Have you already started with the lender? Yes. Pre-approval, as we saw, was 1.18 million. Conventional 10%. How long ago? It was in May. So we didn't need to do anything with them. It's cool. Desired price range, 1 to 2 million, right? I meant to say one.
Oh, they did say me. So do you have them fill this out or is this you?
This
and
is
your-
all me.
Okay,
This is all
So
me.
this is all based off your conversation.
Well, when I met them I met them at an open house. So my open house sign-in sheet is about half the size of this. It has general questions. But I called them, yes, I called them on the phone and I said, hey, you guys, when we met. So then I started asking them all these questions, and they gave me everything.
so they give you a maybe, okay.
Yeah, one above asking maybe. Primary areas, Torrance, Redondo Beach, Lomita, secondary, Cerritos, Cypress, Irvine.
That's a big difference.
This is where knowing, well, one person works in the South Bay, the other one works in OC. So if you know their pre-approval 1.18, 4 or 5 bedrooms, 3 or 4 baths,
Yeah, they figure.
in Irvine, that, that's not gonna happen in Irvine. I knew right away, no, it can't. Not even in maybe in Northridge, like the older part of
Yeah.
Irvine, like North Irvine, if you get a beater, like a fixer-upper. Now, Irvine's $1 million for.
No, everything's
It's
expensive.
expensive?
Yeah,
That's probably one of the most expensive areas. $1 million will get you a 2-bedroom maybe.
What?
Yeah, It's,
That's great.
it's pretty expensive. So okay, so they were open to, let's go back up here. Do you have a home to sell? No. Do you currently? Well, I knew they were renting because let's go back up here, sorry. Number 3, what's important to you about buying a home? I totally skipped that, sorry. They're tired of renting, they had no tax write-offs, and the family's
And they
growing.
were earning good money, looks like, so.
They're excellent money,
Yeah.
and the family's growing, right? So they were actually taking in his mother with them, that's why they needed a 4 or 5 bedroom house. No agent, okay. And then they go back here. No other decision makers, just them 2. Garage, attached garage, yes, with direct access. He wants the safety of his wife and children when they come in and close the garage,
Yeah.
close the door, get in. They don't want a pool, they'd rather have a big backyard for the kids to play in.
Mhm.
And the kids were kind of young too, so they didn't want the,
Would you say it's harder to find a house with a pool?
And they're limited.
and it used to be in the 70s and 80s that was like, oh, house with a pool, it adds value, and everyone wants it, nobody wants it anymore.
Yeah.
That's what we're finding out. Stories, any, didn't matter. Is a fixer okay? Yes. Type of work willing to do anything as long as the foundation is good. We know by the amount of money that he made, the fixer is fine. They didn't care about having a fixer. Here's their must-haves. You must have a 2 to 3 car garage. It must be walking distance to a park.
Okay.
The primary bedroom has to have an ensuite bathroom. You know what that is, ensuite?
Like.
A primary bedroom
Bougie?
with the, no, like a bathroom in the.
Oh,
bedroom.
like a
in the
master
Yeah.
bedroom with.
The rental, you don't say master.
Yes.
Oh.
We have to say primary, sorry, it's, yeah.
What happened to saying master?
Oh.
Political correctness, PC, full master slave thing.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh,
Yeah, so we
okay.
can't say, not that you can't say,
You just gotta be careful.
just gotta be careful. So we just, took me a long time to.
Primary.
I still have
Primary.
that shit.
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I got a lot of people coming in, where's the master?
And then, then you.
You
say-
did, that's fine, I can. So do not want, I write my do not wants in red. You know what a T Junction Street is?
Like
Is
a
that like
freeway?
a one way? Oh,
Let's just say this is the street here. There's another street that faces it. The house is like right here, and this street goes
oh,
right straight into it. And there's that T intersection.
You
yeah.
don't want that.
They don't want to be right there
Okay.
because they don't want those houses, the cars at night shining their bright lights in there, or just somebody loses control.
I never even thought of
There
that.
you go.
Yeah, me neither. I never
Yeah.
thought of-
So they're one of their main things, and a lot of a lot of cultures, the Asian culture, believe in feng shui, right? It's the Chinese kind of the way energy
The flow,
flows.
yeah.
The flow of energy.
Yeah.
They'll never buy a T junction house.
Oh,
Right?
really?
Yeah, it's a lot of.
Interesting. Good to know.
We can't-
Yeah.
we can't have that. Yeah, understanding different cultures is, you have to know that in this business. Some Asian cultures, if there's a 4 in the address, in China, Cantonese, yeah, yi san sei, so it's 4, but sei also means death.
Oh,
So if it's a 4, they can't have that unless it's followed by, I think, an 8. It's some weird thing that they have. I've
interesting.
had clients that, no, we can't buy it because there's a 4 in there. Oh, wow, I didn't know that. That's interesting.
Wow, okay.
They didn't want a high traffic area or anything that backs up to a busy street. Sometimes you'd be on a nice cul-de-sac
Yeah.
and right behind it, there's cars just whizzing by, right?
Yeah.
With a busy
I
intersection.
would hate to live in one of those.
Yeah, terrible. They don't want to be near gas stations, mechanic shops, factories, or have any unusable land. We saw a bunch of houses, we go in the backyard and there's this hill that goes up.
Yeah, can't do anything.
Can't do anything with it. And above them is the neighbor. That's just the way they graded the land when they built the homes in that area.
Yeah.
They don't want to have, they can't use it. It's their whole backyard, or if they have on the side, we saw another house where the whole hillside sloped down to the sidewalk. That was all their
It's like
property.
meters a lot like that.
It was Movida.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So my notes to myself, how did I remember them? It's the tall guy with the short life. Okay, this is just my mental,
Yeah,
I had to write it down. Another asterisk I put, get all birthdays. Their kids are Maddie and Kyle, they had 2 dogs. I didn't get the dogs' names yet. I mean, I got them eventually. Refer to Chris Rivera for updated pre-approval. They didn't need it updated because their pre-approval was only a month old. But I referred them to him anyway, just to do like a cross approval and to see if he had any kind of first-time home buyer programs for them. So,
And did they go with Chris?
no, they actually stayed with the lender because they had. it for-
But they did meet
Oh,
with
yeah,
Chris?
they met him for sure, yeah. If it was a townhome, one of the criteria is it must be a standalone townhome. There can't be any shared walls. So you'll see some townhome communities where it's all,
Like duplex?
they're all single family homes.
Mhm.
They're townhomes, but they're separate from each other. It's like a
Yeah,
HUD. Going back,
it is cool.
Huh?
It is really nice.
this is exactly
No,
what I
yeah,
had.
I like this.
It's so nice.
Yeah, good. Glad you guys like it. Primary areas, Torrance, Redondo Beach, Lameda. Do you guys know what this is? Have you seen this?
No,
No. Okay, this is the map of the entire South Bay. This is the realtor map. For those of you in Zoom land. This is the entire South Bay and beyond. That's Inglewood up here. A little smidgen, a little part of Long Beach down here. I don't know if you guys can see this.
Live in Long Beach, not consider something?
no.
No, not really.
Really?
Yeah.
So with that actually brings the question to me. And since we're realtors of South Bay,
Mhm.
can we still practice in Inglewood and Los Angeles and areas
You
like
can,
that?
your
All in
license,
California.
your license allows you to sell real estate in the entire state of
Okay.
California. But not always a good idea. You need to know
Your area.
Yeah,
these maps are $3 and change at the South Bay Association.
Oh.
If you're gonna be working with with clients who are looking in the South Bay, pick up 5 of these to start. Because every time I do a consultation with the buyer, I give them a map. I say, here, this is your map, because you have to know the differences. I don't know if you guys can see this.
Yeah, we
This is Gardena. This is Gardena PO. This is Torrance. This is Torrance PO. This is the LA Strip. You have to know the differences between the two because there are some major differences. One, for Torrance, for example, this is LA Unified. This is Torrance Unified.
mhm,
It's a huge difference to a lot of people.
yeah,
And then the yellow is unincorporated. This is like West Carson or it's
Harbor
basically
Gateway.
Torrance. This is the Harbor Gateway right here. It's pink. So you have to, 116 and 120 is Harbor Gateway in South Gardena. So you have to know this when you start working with this buyer. Okay? Go to the board, like I said, $3 and change. Pick up a few. And when I do my open houses, no matter where I am in the South Bay, I open this up to where we're at. And they lay it on the table. It's a good conversation piece. People go, what is this? I said, this is where we are. Oh, we're in Gardena. Yeah. What are we looking at? Well, we want our kids to go to Torrance Unified.
And
Well,
so
you
you
have-
show them.
You have to be on this side of Western. We're over here, to the LA side. So they go, oh, we didn't know
That's
that.
cool.
So,
that is crazy, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
I'm going on Friday for one of the trainings, so that's
go to
good.
the store and
Yeah.
pick up a bunch of these.
And the store is like in there?
It's in the front. Yeah, the training is in the back.
Mm-hmm.
They also, in our office and other people's offices, they have a full size that's laminated.
Oh,
I
nice.
have one at home, in my wall in my office. Boom, I refer to it all the time.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, gotta get these things. That's imperative. Questions in Zoom land, anyone? No, okay.
Well, I know Omer, if he's listening, he's out like in Irvine area.
Where is he?
So is there like an association out there?
Yeah, they have their own.
Okay, so like he could find one for his area or?
Yeah, I don't know if they have them, you know what? I got one from Power, which is like Long Beach, Seal Beach, it stops, it's like for
Oh, interesting.
Long Beach, it stops at a certain point, but I've never found one again. I hold on to that, I precious. So I hold on to that thing like it's gold. Because, yeah, I went to their board once, I drove all the way down there and paid $15 for that thing. But I never
Seems good, yeah.
never seen it again, yeah. I don't know if Orange County has a map, I've asked, I don't think they do. I think South Bay is the only one that has a map that's that robust. To be honest, yeah.
Thanks for asking, though.
Yeah, I got you, Omer, no worries. I like Omer.
Yeah. So what we can do now, first of all, before we get into role play, does anyone, you know what this is?
That Supra or whatever it's called.
Super laptop. That keys in. Have you have the Super app?
No, I haven't paid for it yet, but I'm thinking first client or whatever, I'm gonna have to get access to it, right?
Yeah. So if you get a buyer to sign the BRBC, hooray, let's go start looking at houses. If you don't have the app, then what do you do? How you gonna start showing houses if you don't have the app?
Do most listing agents use Supra now?
West Side, Santa Monica, they're still on combo. They still use combo, they haven't really switched over. So we'll just do a little hands-on. Who wants to go first?
What's the name of the app again?
Super.
Supra, SUPRA.
Supra E-Key, it's called. I don't know if, can you see that okay? It's this.
Can you bring it closer? Just. Yeah, okay, thank you.
Supra E-Key. It's $15 a month.
The listing agents put the keys in there.
Yeah,
And so you can just show up at any time with your client.
I'm gonna have you, what was your name again?
Justin.
Joseph, okay. So open the E-Key app. Yep. And then you have options here, right? So you can open shackle, obtain key. Let's start with obtaining key. Okay. Before you type in, I'll give you my code. Before you type in the code, what you need to do is activate the box by pushing on the bottom. When you do that, the light starts flashing. Okay, type in 1378. Push on the bottom again, harder. Bingo. Got it. Here for Joseph, he just opened his first Supra. Awesome. Yeah, man. Those are the keys. So these are gonna be hanging on a front door, on a water pipe. You have to find out from the agent where this is gonna be.
And then you just hold on to the bottom until you're done showing it.
When you're in the house, this is gonna be the on the
Yeah.
door. So you take this in the house with you, because there may be other agents with their clients coming up. Wanting to show it. While you're in that house, showing that house, it's a private showing between you and your buyer. Don't let any other agents in. Oh, just wanna come take a look, because now it's on your Supra.
So
If
something
you have to go,
Oh, okay.
if you leave them in the house, they may take the keys, they might wreck the house, but you're the last one on the Supra log. To log in, so the agent will probably read, what happened, and what'd you do, you're the last one in the house. What'd you do? So. Have your buyers come in the house, lock the door, lock the front door as soon as you can, because if it's a popular listing,
there might be more people.
there's gonna be people coming up, neighbors, other realtors. And they don't care, there's a lot of realtors out there just in it for the money. Yeah, they're just, it's not a good situation. So. This is what a Supra looks like, okay. When you get a listing now. Let's go back out of that. Back to the menu. Now, I don't know if you guys saw that, sorry. So what Joseph did was he clicked on
Yeah.
obtain key, sorry, typed in my code. And we were able to open the box.
Okay.
Now what we're gonna do is go back and we're gonna open shackle. Open shackle. That means you're a listing agent, you have a new listing. And you're gonna put a Supra on the front door. How do you do that? This comes off. So once again. Hit open shackle. How about that one? Open shackle. So activate this again. 1970.
So it'll be two different passwords.
Yes, and then. Just say none of the above. And I'll begin. Then what you're gonna do when it finishes, push down. And then up. There you go. There it is.
It comes up.
Yeah.
So if we close it again.
Do you actually buy these or do you rent them?
You buy them,
You buy them?
yeah,
How much are they?
Better from the association.
and from the association, yeah. I don't know if they're like $75 now or something like that. Yeah, but you have to buy these. And then this, let me see if it works here. Yeah, so this is the door knob. You just
And click it.
clicks on, boom, like that. So that's how you open check, so your turn. Yay. That. Open shuffle, or not open, yeah, you can do open shuffle if you want, it's up to you. Yeah, why don't we just do that 1970? And then activate it first, make sure you activate, yeah. Push, there you go, and hit begin. Down, there you go. So then put it back in. Now you're locked in, you're locked on the front door or water pipe or wherever you're at. Now you want to test.
Is it always just better to put it in the front door or?
It depends, sometimes there's not really, if they have like a handle doorknob, you can't put it on there.
You gotta just slip on.
Yeah. If they have a big handle, then you can put it on the handle, or if they have a knob, you put it around the neck of the knob. Sometimes it's not possible, so you have to find a water pipe somewhere, yeah. 1378
I think being right.
active on. 1378.
So you pay for the monthly super, right? And then
Yes.
you buy one super for when you're.
In the beginning, yeah,
You need at least one.
Eventually,
you need at least one, because if you get a listing, you don't have one.
yeah,
Yeah,
and then you don't know where to put the keys.
yeah, the keys over there, here, yeah.
It's on.
They did it.
That's pretty simple, straightforward.
Yes. Awesome. Sometimes, we'll get it done later.
Do they usually like have them like ready when you just walk in, like I like to buy a Supra? Or do you
Yeah.
have to like order it for you?
No, I think you just go in there, you gotta give your number.
Yeah, yeah.
Cover all that stuff, yeah.
Okay,
This is a combo box.
yeah, that's old school.
Old school, they're still using these in Santa Monica West Side area. See that? Just a series of numbers, you set it. Opens it, the keys go in here, it's falling in my face.
Yeah.
And then this has a little lever here. And it goes around the doorknob neck. Locks into place. We only use these after we open escrow typically.
For the.
For the inspectors, or anyone who has to go in there that doesn't have access to Supra. Because that's a paid for service and you have to use the app to get in. So later on, when we open escrow, we'll take the keys out of the Supra. We'll put them in a lockbox for all the inspectors.
So you recommend we get both actually. So one
Yeah.
before escrow and one after
But
escrow.
this is from, I saw Keller Williams.
Yeah,
So we can get
you
that.
can order these. I think the board might have different, they have generic ones too. You don't have to get Keller Williams. But yeah, and you can set the combo and just.
But those are, I'm pretty, there's a rate sheet.
Yeah, these are like 20 something bucks. But you don't want to use these for your listings. Never want to use, this will electronically keep track. I get an email, I get a text. I'm gonna have your name, or not your name, but
Yeah.
whoever it is. You get everybody.
Do you usually call the agent,
Yeah,
like after or whatever? And-
oh no, after, you have to read the private remarks, because it'll say super not available until after open house on Sunday. Okay, if you show up on Saturday, there's not gonna be.
But I meant like, let's say they go on up that Monday or Tuesday.
Mhm.
Would you, like, you get the alert that like an agent went in to do a viewing?
Mhm.
Would you call them afterwards, like, oh, how did you like, or no, you just, if they call to you, then that's
Yeah.
different, gotcha.
They'll show it, we'll get the notification, they sometimes might. Call us and say, hey, we just showed the house, I say, yeah, I see that. Can you tell me a little bit more about it? They'll ask questions about,
There might be some interest.
Yeah, usually there is, for sure. You guys wanna do a little bit of role play?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I wanted to ask, do you ask the homeowner to get insurance for the house while it's being listed?
They have to have insurance.
Oh,
Wow.
they have to?
Yeah.
Okay.
If they own it, They should have insurance on it.
Mhm.
Make sure to tell them, don't ever cancel your insurance. Leave the utilities on the entire way, all the way through escrow. They can change it, or they can just take their name off the utilities. Just maybe prior to us closing, or like right when you close.
Yeah,
But especially insurance, yeah, they do not want to have strangers coming in to an uninsured house that's just asking for it.
well, nature can happen,
Yeah, everything,
yeah.
everything happens. Well, I expected there to be more people. But. So,
That's
This
your
is-
questionnaire.
yeah, this is my questionnaire, so. If you guys just want to do it verbally, you can do that. It's just the same thing for both sides.
Gotcha. So, I mean, I would already know their name, hopefully, right?
Yep.
So,
So you can ask him.
yeah,
So go ahead.
hey, Mr. Joseph, my name is David. Thank you for coming to the open house yesterday. So I saw you might have not been interested in the house, but I know you told me you are looking to buy a home. What's your timeline? How soon are you looking to buy?
I'd say maybe about, the next 6 months.
Okay, so you're thinking maybe like by September, like the latest?
That's not bad, yeah.
Okay.
That's not right.
And how long have you been looking?
I've been looking for the past 2 years.
Oh, so you've been looking for a long time? Okay, so what's important? What is it that you're looking in buying a home?
Feel like I'm looking for the perfect home and making sure that I get some sort of equity and in the future kind of have somewhere that I can leave for my children and that way they could be good.
Gotcha, generational, I get
Yeah.
that. So I know you've been looking for about 2 years, you said already. Have you been looking with an agent? Are you working with an agent?
I was agent hopping.
Gotcha, okay. But currently you're not with an agent, you haven't signed.
No, I have not signed any.
Okay, gotcha. Have you already reached out to like a lender, like a mortgage lender?
I have not actually.
Okay. I work with a few lenders that we can hook you up with and see where you land. What areas were you looking for? Like, here in the South Bay or
Say Redondo Beach is a nice area.
gotcha.
Torrance is an okay area. It's a little too quiet for me. I do like the city.
Okay,
I'd say like a little bit more in LA.
gotcha. Okay, so maybe like Hollywood area or
Like West LA area.
okay, gotcha. And are you currently renting or do you
I'm
own?
ready.
Okay, understood. And are you at a lease or is it a month to month?
It's a month.
Okay, perfect. Besides you, are there gonna be any other decision makers?
I have a girlfriend.
Okay. No worries, I get that says it all. And so for the home that you're currently looking for, you're looking for like single family homes, just a home or like condos, townhomes
Single
or.
family home is fine. Some of
Okay.
my careers, the kid will end up having one.
Gotcha, are you open to condos or townhomes though?
Not really. I don't like people that would so be alone and only by myself.
Okay, understood. How many beds and baths?
Maybe around like three beds, 4 beds is fine.
Okay, 3 to 4, and how many baths?
Like 1 bathroom, 2 bathrooms.
Okay, I would say 2, just saying. Okay, so like 3 to 4 beds, maybe 1 to 2 baths depending. What about the garage? Like, are you looking for an
Yeah,
attached
yeah.
garage or?
I want an attached garage so I can have all my cars there.
Gotcha. And are you looking for like 1 story, 2 story?
That's fine.
You're open?
Yeah.
Okay. And what about a pool? Yes to a pool, no to a pool?
I don't really want a pool.
Okay, got you. And then is a fixture okay? Like how much work are you willing to do on the home?
I think I want my house ready for me to be like.
Ready to move in?
Yeah.
Got you. So, just last thing I kind of want to know, like, what is it a must? Like, you gotta have this in your house.
A view.
A view?
Yeah.
No, like the beach, the ocean, the city?
Yeah.
Got you. Okay. And what about like hey, this house cannot have this.
I know I mentioned the city a lot, but I don't want oncoming traffic coming in when I come out.
Gotcha. So not like a busy street.
Yeah, and I also don't really like a lot of noise either.
Okay, so like you said, calm neighborhood.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Alrighty, Joseph, so look, that's pretty good. I'm gonna reach out to my lender, we're gonna set something up and just start this rolling.
Good deal, man.
Good.
Oh, you was first, shoot. Sure you only had your last, yeah, how long did you have your license?
A month.
A month. This guy sounds like he's running a business already, right? He is.
Appreciate it.
I look at the way he dressed too. All right.
All right.
I
And
just
action.
wanted, oh, sorry.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
No. Just.
No, go for it.
I wanted to say that there's a way you can integrate all these questions into comments. So at the sales pipeline, when you have a new buyer, you can just answer all these questions and save it there. So this way, you can always, anyone from your team can always go back and see what you've discussed before.
And where is that now? I'm sorry.
So if you go to the sales pipeline, and for example, you choose one of the stages, you can always add tasks or questions.
You're talking about in command?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay, that's a different. Yeah,
I just wanted to say so that like even if you're on the go, you don't want to write things down, you want to take notes on your phone because this is how it usually happens. So you can just do it there. Yeah.
You can always dictate using a voice memo. Can you do that? Yeah, absolutely. I like writing things down at
Yeah,
school.
so,
Because when you write things down, you tend to remember it easier. And having it in front of you, and then when I write it down, I also take a picture of it in case something happens to it. Spill water on it.
Like, damn.
Yeah.
Old school, old school.
Yeah.
Remember when we said, right?
Yeah, out of the old school sometimes, man. But no, I like that too. Command is definitely a tool that we need to use for sure. So thanks for that, man. Okay, go for it, dude. And action.
All right, hi David, we spoke at an open house about you wanting to maybe buy a home soon. How soon would you like to be in your home?
Yeah, like I told you yesterday, I was thinking like I want to do it before the summer. So what, next 3 months?
Okay, so you're hungry, you want that house, huh?
Yeah, I'm looking.
How long have you been seriously looking for?
Maybe the last 2 months.
2 months, okay. And what's important to you about buying a home?
I want to stop renting. I'm kind of over it.
Are you working with another agent right now?
No,
Okay. So that means you haven't signed any agreements, correct?
yeah, no, nothing.
Have you already started working with the lender?
Yeah, I'm working with like a local lender, got approved for, I think it was like 1.5, but I'm not trying to go all the way up to that.
What kind of loan was that?
Conventional.
And how much were you looking to put down?
I'm thinking 20% up to 30%, nothing more than that.
When did you talk to this lender?
I think like I got the pre-approval like 2 weeks ago.
Okay. How much are you looking to spend on this property?
Maybe like 1, 2, like
Yeah.
around there.
Are you looking to go a little higher than that if you need to?
If I need to, but I'm trying not to get too crazy on it.
Which areas are you really looking forward to moving to?
I was looking out in like Palos Verdes, like maybe some areas of San Pedro, even like Torrance, Lomita area, just very specific areas.
You wouldn't go anywhere else besides those 4 areas?
I mean, if anything, like if we found a good deal, like the beaches areas, like Redondo, Hermosa, Manhattan.
Okay. Do you have a home to sell for your next one? Well, no.
No, I'm renting.
Yeah, you're renting, right? Awesome. And then, is there anyone else that's gonna help you make this decision?
I have a wife, but I got pre-approved the loan.
And you're looking for a single family, you're looking for a condo, a townhome?
A single family would be the ideal. Worst case scenario, like a townhome, but I don't want it to be like attached to anybody else. If that makes sense, like just a standalone.
How much are you willing to pay a month for a townhome? for your,
Like my mortgage, I just depend.
HOA?
for your HOA?
Oh.
I was just messing. HOAs, I don't know, maybe like nothing above like $600.
And for your single family, if you were to get that, is a fixer okay? What type of work are you looking?
No, I need it to be move-in ready. I'm not willing to spend to fix.
What's some must-haves you want on that property?
Has to be, minimum has to be 3 beds, 2 baths. I'm open to like 2-story, but I would prefer just like, single-story home. It needs to have a yard. Definitely needs to have a yard. That's a big deal.
You have a dog or something?
No, it's just, we throw a lot of like family get-togethers, so that's a big deal.
Okay, and what's some things you don't really want on that property? What's some things you want to avoid?
Not a busy street, right? So I don't want it like a major street, so just more neighborhood, I think would be my ideal. Or like what I'm against, I should say.
Awesome, perfect. I got you, man. Sounds good. I'm gonna get back to you real soon, and then I'm gonna start looking through the MLS and see what I can find for you.
Awesome.
Perfect. Good deal,
There you
man.
go, man.
2 rising stars. We're gonna be working for these guys one day. Watch, you never know. So, yeah, that's good. That's
Do you
awesome.
mind if I?
That's good.
Yeah. It is awesome.
I have a southern one too. I don't
Oh,
have time to
yes.
go over that. We're gonna get into that one too before I give it to you. So what are some ahas so far that you guys have picked up?
The definition of able for me.
Definition of able,
Yeah, financially and legally capable.
yes.
For me, it's a lot of the exercises that you kind of provided for us, kind of going over what you
Yeah, this is
do.
awesome.
This right here specifically. So I feel like ever since I kind of got my license to this day right now, I've been trying to find a way to be more proactive, more aggressive, and more hungry in a sense. And I'm trying to like make it a little bit more applicable with myself because I have a lot of things that I do, but I don't want to make no excuses. So I'm trying to find ways to kind of go harder. And I feel like these little things like this, it helps me see what an actual real estate agent does when they're on the phone, when the question that they're asking, the effective question at least, versus like me just calling my speaker and just saying, how are you?
Exactly.
Not really making as much of an impact as I probably can. So I feel like even with like now, like kind of, because he mentioned door knocking to me when I first had started, and he mentioned he's done it already and got some leads that way. So I need to do something.
Yes.
Like seriously. So I feel like that's kind of my aha for today. Specifically, is like with all these engagements, like I feel like I know how to talk now. I know what to say. And I know what to ask, so I could have some sort of lead generation.
Yeah, and this is just one, this is mine. That it took years to develop. I've changed it, updated it. Oh my God, it didn't start this way.
And it's a good flow.
Yeah,
I like
that's the, I guess, the aha, the flow of this
Yeah.
shows me how I have to have a consistent rhythm with my conversation, whether it's on the phone, whether I meet somebody at my job and they're coming up to pick up their order, whether it's at the grocery store. I just need to have a consistent flow saying, I'm a real estate agent. That way people are like, you know what? Let me just take your number down.
Yes.
Versus me having to somewhat
Right.
beg for them. Like,
Exactly. And speaking of that, when I'm at an open house, one of the things that I learned from a guy named Kevin Ward, who's a real estate trainer, if you make these little tweaks to your language, a little tweak. So when somebody, like you have a sign-in sheet, right? Or you're talking to somebody, give me your email, give me your phone number, give me this, give me, right? I want you to give me something. Instead, he goes, let's exchange information. Tell you what, let's exchange information. They like let's, people like let's. Let's go to a party, let's go to a movie, let's have a barbecue, let's do this, let's do that. The word let's instead of give me is so much more powerful. When I started doing that, oh my God, my leads increased like you would not believe.
When you open a house, I know that's a whole, I guess, out of topic a little bit, but do you have people who walk in who don't want to like sign in? Or is that?
I don't force anyone to sign in. I have optional sign-in sheets. but I never force them to do it.
Okay.
If they're asking me questions and they say, we're thinking about selling our house, and well, how do I do this? It's a great question. Tell you what, why don't we exchange, let's go ahead and exchange information. Exchanging information means I'm going to be giving you the same thing you're going to be giving me. It's not just giving, I'm not just taking from you.
Yeah.
I'm giving to you, you're giving, it's a two-way street, it's a relationship. It's like being with a girl, right?
Yeah.
It's back and forth. And they like that, they love it.
And your open house signage is just name, number, email.
It's half the size of this. It's just, name, phone number, email, address. Are you working with a lender? Do you have a home to sell? Areas, bedrooms, bathrooms, like what
Oh,
are you
that's a
looking for?
lot, okay.
So it's a half sheet. I can send that to you as well. That's pretty much it. And then when I call them, I have half the information.
So you already started like.
So now I start filling out the first about half from my open house. And then that way, when I call them, I only have to ask them half the questions now. Because I already know
Yeah, that's,
from when I met them. Yeah.
okay.
So, and always remember too, when you're doing an open house, when you're out showing clients, this whole thing is called how to get buyers and sellers, right? But they're interviewing you too. You're on a job interview every
Yeah.
second that you're out there. Even when you're not doing real estate, you're at the grocery store,
Yeah,
they're checking you out. Oh, you're a realtor? I didn't know that. Wow, pretty sure you got your card? Yeah, sure. Here's my card. The way you hold yourself, the way you conduct yourself, everything, especially at open houses. You really got to bring your A game to those. Because you're on full display. And everybody's looking at you because you have something that they want. Right? And you're a potential for selling their house. House is the biggest thing they own, it's the most, I don't want to call it an asset, but a lot of people do.
No, definitely.
Yeah.
yeah, the biggest purchase
So
or.
the biggest purchase, the biggest, highest value thing that they have,
Yeah.
and they're gonna trust you with helping them sell that. So how do you show up? Right, so when you do the open houses, how many lead-in signs do you have? Are you cordial when they walk in? Do you smile and, how you doing? My name's Chris, how you doing? Nice to meet you. Oh, my name's George, this is my wife, Lisa. Hey, how you doing? George, Lisa, okay, you gotta remember that. Here's a flyer, and when they walk away, I have a little notepad.
Yeah, George.
George, Lisa. Okay, big booty. Something, like I said, tall guy, short wife. Jason and Lisa, he was like 2.5 feet taller than she was. I'm like,
Yeah.
whoa, dang. So I think I drew like a little.
Yeah,
something like
stick
that, just-
figure.
yeah, stick figure. But just those things to just kind of remind myself of, who's who and what's what, yeah. Touch plans. So we talked about the B and C buyers to touch plans. This is how you communicate with your database. So it's 19 to connect. So 4, 12, 2, and 1 equals 19. 36 to convert, and then 1 to cement. I guess that's the ratio that they're using.
So I think my confusion, have you seen this before?
Yeah.
What's what do you mean by connect and so is it connecting is just somebody who you've spoken to?
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
somebody who's a B and C buyer, the A's are ready to go within 2 weeks. So this is.
Gotcha. So
B&C.
converting is getting them to,
So
like, I'm ready right now, let's go
Yes.
for it.
Yeah, so those are the A buyers. They're talking here about B and C.
Gotcha.
And how I think, Omar, you had something about somebody who had bad credit. This is one way of keeping in touch with them. You can do it quarterly phone calls,
Yeah.
12 touches, monthly email and newsletter. We actually have a newsletter that goes out every month.
Because quarterly, four in a quarter, so that means you're coming 4 times.
4 times a year, yeah,
Okay.
Every 3 months.
12 touches.
Okay.
Yeah. 2 touches, promotional direct mail such as a magnet calendar. We do that too. Printed marketing report. We have,
So you're just trying to stay in their mind. Like
Yeah,
that's what you're really
you want
pushing
them
for.
to be their
Toma.
first choice.
It's called TOMA, TOMA, top of mind awareness. So remember that.
Yeah.
Always have to
first
be-
person to think about.
Yes. You give them a notepad. They have the notepads on the refrigerator or on the counter, whatever. Oh yeah, there's that realtor, that friendly realtor that came by. So every time they make a note, bing, you're in their mind. So twice a year, beginning of the year and like around summertime, we give them a a newsletter. Well, I do newsletters once a month, but we do like a notepad, our business card, maybe like a calendar magnet, something like that.
Mhm.
But something just to keep, and then when you go to people's houses, you'll see sometimes on the refrigerator, they'll have like 2 or 3 different realtors. In their calendar magnet calendars up on the refrigerator. You know, you'll actually say, I've seen that before. It's like, you don't need those, take those down. Just put those up there. So 36 to convert is 4 touches, phone calls. 26 is a bi-weekly email offering some type of information of value to the customer.
So the 8 person is under the convert, like
The
somebody.
8 person is now to 2 weeks.
Yeah, so that's 36 to convert, or like they're already converted?
No, the 8 person is all ready to buy. You don't have to, this is for B and C buyers.
Gotcha,
Yeah.
gotcha.
This is for those who are 2 weeks to a month and a month and beyond.
Gotcha.
So,
So like if they're like B, you would put them into the 19, and then they're C into like the 36,
yes.
or
That'd be
the other
good
way
to do.
around?
No, it's good. Yeah, B here and then C there. And then, again, I don't know if it's all for both of them, but usually I would think for B and B buyers here, you want more contacts. Because more touches, because they're more ready to go than somebody who's a C buyer. A C buyer could be a month plus or 2 months out. A B buyer is anywhere from 2 weeks to a month typically.
So maybe it would be the other way around,
B
then,
would be
right?
19,
Because you
B
want
would be
to be more on
36.
top of the B.
because you want to make more
Well, it
calls.
could be, but I think because if they're not ready to go for another couple of months, you don't wanna,
Harass them.
yeah,
Gotcha.
you don't wanna keep touching them all the time, but yeah, 36.
So if I,
I was just curious how you
Yeah,
did it, yeah,
right.
that's what I was
Right.
asking.
And then one to send a high value touch that solidifies a relationship. We do a newsletter and I personally deliver 1,400 of those every month. I go door to door every single month. In about 5 different neighborhoods. We have a newsletter, we have a company that prints it out for us, it's like 7,000 or 1,700 a month that he pays for those.
Mhm.
It has all our information on it. It has comics, joke, it's very little about real estate. On the back side, we have a little real estate corner. We show active pendings and solds. That's it. The entire thing is about how to restore your credit. You know, avoid certain scams,
that 80-20 rule.
80-20 rule, all that stuff. We just put all kinds of recipes and stuff in there.
That's cool.
It's
Yes,
fun,
it's
they
excellent.
love it. It's a 4-page newsletter and they actually love it. That goes out every month. So that's our 12 touches monthly, 19, right? 12 touches every month, the email, newsletter, market report, video. So every month,
So you do that in addition to the email or instead of the email?
instead of the email.
Interesting.
Yeah. And then we have somebody else who delivers those, because we have like 5,000
Mhm.
in all of our farms in Gardena and Torrance. So he hired a guy to actually deliver the parts that I can't do,
Mhm.
and I do 1,400 by myself every month. I don't door knock,
You
I just put it on the door.
Oh,
There's certain homes that I don't do because I know they don't want it,
yeah.
but people are waiting.
Yeah.
And they open the door, thank you, I like reading this, I can't do it, just waiting. They love it. They
And you guys
absolutely-
just created it, like your team?
There's a template that he has and he just changes the
Yeah.
articles. Yeah, certain stuff like that. If you make it more personal. Instead of, you don't ever want to say, #1 realtor in the area,
Yeah.
5-star this, and I'm the baddest thing since sliced bread. You know,
Yeah.
nobody cares about that. They don't care.
Yeah.
But when you touch them here, my daughter, my son, on myself, I love the daily brain teaser. We have a brain teaser. And the answers don't come out until next month, so they wait.
Oh, they
Yeah.
wait for the.
Just the other one, right?
We also have like a little giveaway. We have a $25 gift card to Starbucks or Amazon. All they have to do is email or call us and say, hey, I want to enter the drawing. And we put them in,
Database based off the email.
Yeah. they give us all their information. And when they win, we call them up, say, hey, congratulations, you actually won. Oh, really? Wow. So usually we have them come in the office and pick it up, or we can mail it to them, however they want to. But just stuff like that to make it fun.
Mhm.
We're giving them something of value, right?
Mhm.
Instead of just telling them real estate information and, get out there and, they're just kind of tough because every single realtor out there doing the same exact thing.
You're trying to do something different.
You have to differentiate or die. That's another saying that I would buy too. Okay, now we're gonna get into qualifying sellers, a half hour, so we won't get the role play. It's kind of the same thing, my pre-listing questionnaire. Of course, the questions are gonna be different, they're based more towards sellers. And this is exactly, the names have changed, I changed the names on this one. They didn't live at 123 Main Street, no, they lived somewhere in Gardena, but they did live in San Diego. So what that means is that
They were like investing.
they were absentee owners. That was a rental house that they owned. That was the first house that they bought. They moved down to San Diego and decided to rent this house out. Okay,
Oh, you asked about permitted on.
it's 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, 1378 square feet. The lot was 5280, no pool, AC, yes. Central heating, the roof was done 4 years ago. Updates. In 2020, they did a new roof, electrical, kitchen, floors, both bathrooms, bonus room. So these people here were in my farm, the area that I talked about where I deliver those 1,400 newsletters. They love our newsletters. That actually helped solidify their decision between us and somebody else. Because every month I'm consistent. Consistency is the key. If you find a farm and you start, don't be like what we call a Vegas agent, where they're just passing out cards. They're a one-shot kill and that's it. You'll never see them again. So consistency is the key. Find an area and just do it every month and I get to know you, become the face of the neighborhood as the go-to realtor. So they had a bunch of updates done in 2020. Permitted, unpermitted. The bonus room was unpermitted.
So
Okay,
that means that we
the
did,
240 square foot, you'll see in a sec. What was your question?
that means like, it was not like listed, like.
And they didn't get permit.
They didn't get permits for it from the city, so the city never came out.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
So the city thinks it's a 2-bedroom versus it being 3, right? Or-
No, they think it's 3 bedrooms, 2 baths.
But they added.
It's an addition, they added a bonus room to the back of the house.
So it's technically 4 bedrooms, but the city is.
No, it's not a bedroom because there's no closet. It's just a huge 240 square foot addition to the house, like a big family room. Yeah. Bonus room unpermitted. Why have you decided to sell? Again, tired of rent, tenant issues and financial consolidation. They're downsizing a bunch of stuff. Are you interviewing other agents? The answer was yes. They decided to go with us, but they were interviewing other agents. What's important to you and the agent you choose?
I love it.
The dude was, he was answering all the questions, the husband. He said the full words though.
Yeah, yeah.
He just said, I don't know what I have. I said, all right, cool, you're not gonna get me here. What are your ideal plans? Sell by the end of summer, pay medical expenses. They have a lot of those, but they had to get rid of the house because they had like $80,000 in medical expenses. He injured his back and the wife had, I don't know.
So when you were talking to them, you asked them like, what's your ideal plan of selling? And then they told you, I want to sell by the summer. Then you asked why on that, or did they just come out and tell you about the medical expenses?
They just came out and told me.
Okay, interesting. Because that would feel like that's a big deciding factor why they want to sell.
That was the main one.
Yeah, because I know they said like tenant issues and whatever, but.
Yes, and we'll get into that too. What concerns do you have? Getting what we're asking for price wise. Want to get that
That's
offer
usually
more.
the case.
Where are you moving to? They're not moving. They're gonna stay down in San Diego. They're just dumping this house. Okay. How soon do you have to be there? Doesn't matter. When would you like to start? May 1st. There's that date again, that specific date. When would you like to sell by? Okay, I said C number 4.
Yeah,
Sell by end of summer. Sometimes they're not gonna be specific. That's why you would ask, when do you like to sell by? Oh, whenever. What's most important? They want to net the most money. They gotta pay for those medical expenses. What price would you like to start with? They've been looking on Zillow and Redfin, blah, blah, blah. So 815 to 830. Because they did all these updates, we're actually able to get a little bit more than that. So they were right on though. they did their homework and they were actually a little bit
They have
lower,
it.
which is good. If we sell your home in the next 30 days, will that be an issue? Yes. Because the tenants were in there, they moved out, they have to move out mid-April. They need some time to possibly do some repairs, and once the 30 days, okay, once they get it listed, then if it sells in 30 days, it's not a problem, but they had to, this was 2020. They claimed COVID and stopped paying rent 2022.
Yeah,
The tenants?
Yeah,
yeah.
Oh.
A lot of them
they
did.
did the claim, the COVID claim. And what ended up happening, so let me finish this first. Is there anything you need that we can help you with? Item removal, donations,
You know,
again, they don't know until the tenants move out. Everything hinged on the tenants vacating the property. Okay, best time to contact anytime before 9 PM, text or call. Names needed for sale, it was just them, no one else. Keys or access, they were gonna give me keys. If we put a lockbox on, they said, yeah, it's okay to put on the water pipe. They didn't want on the front door. They were okay for us to put a sign in the front yard.
So on the lockbox question you asked them, would it be okay if I put a lockbox in the front door
Yeah, or
or
they
something?
were asking me about the process. How does it work when you sell the home? How do I ask, who, are you gonna be here to show up? Like, no, we have a lockbox that we put on the front door somewhere. And agent can let them in. We'll do an open house, of course, 2 days of open houses. We'll get the bulk of the people coming in that way. But for those agents who can't make the open house, we'll put a lockbox on it so they can access it anytime they want. So that's why I said, they go, can you put it on the water pipe? Does it have to go on the front door? Yeah, water pipe's fine. So they were okay with us putting a sign up, showing dates, times, instructions. It's vacant, so they can go.
Yeah,
anytime.
I know.
This will make a difference if it's still owner occupied. Sometimes they don't want you to.
Even has,
Other times they do, because the sellers, you want them to leave the house when an agent comes. You don't want them to be there.
makes sense.
Yeah. Why do you think we don't want the sellers there?
Well, we don't want an agent talking to them and,
They're gonna be
or trying to convince them to sell for less or whatever the case.
Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. So if the agent tricks them, or if they say in front of 3 other witnesses, you know, what about the leak in the roof? Oh yeah, don't worry, I'll take care of that. Or they start making conversation that they're gonna do this, or they're gonna do that, or don't worry about this, it's not that bad. Next thing you know,
We
they're
have to-
illegal.
Yeah.
Fine, well, we have 3 witnesses that said
You
that
said
you
you're gonna
said
fix
you were gonna fix this. So, and just, we don't want them there.
digging their own grave.
Yeah,
Hang them in their
you
grill,
wanna
yeah, just
protect
keep
them.
them separate as best you can. Sometimes, even with owner occupied homes, we wanna put a super on there. So when they do leave, the only way that an agent is gonna access it is if they use this key. And then we get a text, we get an email. Most sellers like that. They like this idea. So even though it's owner occupied, sometimes we still. I prefer using that.
But if it's owner, like they live there, let's say,
Mhm.
would you still put it?
Yes.
Like, and how would they know? Like if they're in the home, would they
Mhm.
just be like, hey, give us a second to,
Appointment only.
oh, gotcha.
So now that's where showing dates, times and instructions come in.
Gotcha.
I didn't write it down because they didn't.
Yeah, they didn't need it
care
for
about
this.
that. But on the owner occupied homes, okay, what is your schedule? Well, I'm usually here between like 9 and noon, and then I leave to go to my therapy appointment from 1 to 3, so anytime between
They can
that.
come.
But you know, if they're gonna come at like 9 in the morning, I don't care, I'll just go somewhere. So in the MLS, we'll have to put, please give minimum 2 hours notice. Seller may be home, they need notice to
Yeah, step out, yeah.
yeah, just step out while you show it. And then on the sign, you have these little riders. It says by appointment only. Sometimes on the for sale sign, you need to put those up. Shown by appointment only, if it is appointment only, yeah. So there's different ways you can do that. So my notes, when tenants move out, they're gonna change locks in the garage code. Okay, stop paying rent 6 months ago. They claimed COVID, may need a trash out service, depending on. So what happened was, luckily, these owners had a property management company. Property management company, they have attorney, real estate
Yeah.
attorney. When they stop paying rent because of COVID, when you do that, you're supposed to fill out a form. It goes to the state of California, I guess, and you have to list your diagnosis, all that stuff, the hospital visits, whatever. You have to fill out a form. They didn't do that.
Yeah, they were just,
They're just
Stop
paying
at the
rent.
station.
yeah, they just found the
Yeah,
whatever and tried
they
running.
just said, you know what, let's just use COVID as an excuse to stop paying rent.
Yeah,
So they did that. The property management company, their attorney, I guess what happened was they contacted them and said, hey, you guys 6 months behind, you pay rent, stuff like that. So the tenants got an attorney.
of
course.
Yeah, because they could afford it, they weren't paying rent, so they had money left over for an attorney. So the attorneys contacted each other, and I think what happened was the property management attorney said they didn't file the COVID relief fund form at all with the state, so they're in violation.
Yeah,
Oh, 5 days later, the tenants moved out.
Nice.
No, because I think that their attorney said, look, if you don't
you know.
move out, you didn't do that, you're gonna have to pay all this back, you have to pay back rent anyway. But the next time you go rent something,
It's a bit of-
it's gonna show up on your, you're not gonna be able to rent anything, probably gonna be homeless. So a couple months later, we get a rental in Gardena, yes, he tried to apply.
Oh,
Yeah.
that is
That
hilarious.
is crazy.
Is that?
I don't know, people really actually do. things
Oh,
like
yeah,
this.
yeah.
Oh my God, yeah, you kidding?
I had, like, I worked for a company where I ran with two people,
Mhm.
like, took advantage of it.
Wow.
And then they just, I don't know if you heard the news, they just,
Yeah, and
once again, extended the eviction moratorium to July. But they keep doing that, they're gonna just, well,
I'm sure they're probably gonna extend it.
they're gonna keep extending it over and over and over again.
So what does that mean? You can't.
You can't evict.
You can't evict for not.
It makes it hard to evict. It's very, very difficult to evict. You still can evict, but it's more and more difficult every time, yeah. They have to be really, something really egregious in order for you to evict them.
Ah, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
It really is. We had an eviction attorney come talk to us. He left his brochures and stuff, yeah. He's really good. So, miscellaneous information, you guys need to know this. Since the bonus room is unpermitted, it can't be counted in the square footage of the home. So that's gonna be reflected in your columns and your list price. Okay? 1378 square feet, bonus room 240, total 1618. It's not permitted, so you can't count that. So when you run your comps, you have to run comps around 1378, not 1618. And that could be that's a huge
Yeah.
difference. That could be 100 grand right there. You know, when you run your comps, 50 to 100 grand, depending on the neighborhood. So even though, and these are just like miscellaneous info.
Yeah.
When you meet with a seller and you're interviewing them, a lot of times the sale is as is completely. I am not going to do anything. I'm not going to do any repairs. I'm not going to issue any credits for repairs. Nothing. Okay, perfect. We put that in the private remarks. Even though they're not willing to, the buyers still may ask
Mhm.
in their offer. They do the home inspection. You know, the electrical is kind of shot. That panel is on the recall list for old panels that,
Mhm.
tend to catch fire or whatever. So you have to have that conversation with your seller. When you meet with them, when you're filling all this out, I know you said you're not gonna do any credits or repairs or anything like that. That's fine. Just keep in mind, number one, the buyer still may ask. You can still refuse it, but they're going to ask. The other thing is too, if it's a health and safety issue, you might wanna possibly reconsider,
Yeah.
give them a little credit. That way, the liability is off of you. You give them the credit, they use the money for whatever they want. You wash your hands of it, you get to walk away. Take the liability off that. You have a fiduciary duty to your sellers, not only to make the most money, but to protect them in every way you can.
So if a buyer were to be asking for repairs, you could turn around and say, we'll give you a credit
Mhm.
instead. Like, you don't have to necessarily do the repair, but also
Yeah.
the credit.
In fact, most people want the credits instead of the repairs.
Interesting.
So, yeah,
Where does the credits come?
it's taken out from the proceeds of the sale.
from?
So, yeah. So it's just like minus whatever, they reduce
Like
it.
you sell it for 500,000, they want 20,000 credits, they
Yeah.
20,000.
It's 20,000 less. So. Attend open houses and brokers open to observe how other successful agents conduct their business.
I've been wanting to do
Yeah,
that.
Be a sponge. Do it. They have the open house tours. Go on them.
where?
You get the emails from our office.
Yeah, I think I do.
South Bay, Keller Williams, they have the tours that you can go on. And it's just,
Oh, really? I haven't gotten those emails.
no, you better check with them and find out, yeah. That's what you can use them.
Do you get those emails? I haven't gotten
I've
them.
never seen an email about open house.
Yeah, that's.
It's a brokers open, they're called. It's not a well. It's not really necessarily a public open. If you have a client, you can bring them to the brokers open, but they're mainly for brokers, yeah. It's an agent listing a home, opening it up to brokers to see if they have
Like
clients
a
that might be
client,
interested.
gotcha.
So a lot of times you'll just see agents going in by themselves, previewing, just so they get to know the inventory. Right? Oh, I have a client who might like this. Yeah, absolutely. That's how you get to know other agents. And I have learned so much just by going to open houses and watching other agents, how they conduct themselves. I've walked out completely inspired in some cases, in most cases, and I've walked out like, oh my God, I am never, ever gonna do that. I'm never gonna talk to people the way he did. I'm never just gonna sit in a chair and like walk in, like, hey, how's it going? Hey, you know, okay, you the agent? Yeah. It was liar? Well, they're right there on the table.
Yeah, no.
It's just like nothing.
Yeah.
You're just sitting there behind the desk. Wow, dude, okay.
Yeah, I feel like I need to try an open house. I work in hospitality, so
Oh,
I feel like if I get around people and
Yeah.
that's like my goal of connection. So that's why when he told me door knocking was essential for him, I was like, I need to try that too.
yes.
Cause I could call people, they like me, they're gonna tell me yes, they'll call me back, but it's just like the follow up and all that. Like I wanna feel busy. I just feel like I haven't been as busy as I can.
Yeah. I do this full time, so it's all I do pretty much. So I just dove in, I'm like, you know what? Quit my job, doing real estate full time. And it's sink or swim, and I'm not about to sink. So. Here it is. Absolutely must preview both vacant and occupied properties in person, not just online. If you want to become an area expert, you literally have to open doors. You guys that are halfway there, you know how to open super now. You have to get to know your inventory before you can sell it. And this is non-negotiable. As a realtor, if you want to make any kind of success, this is what you have to do. One of the things, door knocking, getting out there. You have to get out there physically in front of people, not just virtually. A lot of people think they're going to build the best. When I first got my license, I'm like, oh my God. I had my friend build a website, my business card is going to match the logo on my website. I'm just going to get all this business. I heard it's crickets. Nobody came to my website. Nobody.
What was your first 30 days like? What did it look like? That's a real.
Oh man, I had friends that lived down in Temecula. So I joined their company that was here in Torrance. Same company, Exit Realty,
Okay.
but I made an exit real quick. So my first 30 days, I actually spent a weekend down with them because they go, hey, yeah, come down with us. We have a lot of stuff going on. You can learn the business. So they're kind of teaching me about how to open Supra, how to open this, and what buyers and sellers are asking for, the conversations that we have. But they were friends of mine, so I actually stayed at their house. They had like a big 6-bedroom house. So that was my first 30 days. It was kind of like, well, I hit the ground running. And then shortly after I left there, then I came to Keller Williams. No, I went to one other place, then came to KW. And when I came here, I got my first listing. Within, I think, a month and a half or two. Yeah. So it was really, really fun. But that was a short sale. Right, the height,
Yeah,
revenue tanked.
A short sale is basically when you close a contract.
like somebody who's like
Yes.
behind the, yeah,
Right.
because they're behind on the payments or
Oh,
something.
okay.
So your value is 800, but you owe $1 million, you're short 200,000. Yeah, it's not like, hey, you want to buy a house? It has nothing to do with the length of time because short sales took even longer They took the longest. So,
We did the lender,
Hmm?
the lender something.
yeah, the lender, and then they had like thousands of them, literally, so they had to, each case is different, and, oh man, it was bad. And then, oh, how's it,
Do you have a copy of the seller?
did I give it to you?
They're just a buyer.
Oh, sorry.
I know this.
Yeah, I guess we can go ahead and end.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, that was quick.
Toma, it was top of mind always.
Awareness.
Awareness.
How about mind awareness? Come on, stake it, right?
Yeah.
Come on. So, yeah, there's a whole bunch of other stuff in here that I don't know. As to achievement, how's your thinking change, what ideas or mindset were new?
Chris, I just want to
Yes.
compliment something like between all the Ignite sessions we have seen, I think yours was the most, the one that has the most personal touch in it. It was very insightful.
Thank you.
Your personal touch.
Thank you. I like to, when I go to trainings, I always felt like, there was this personal touch that was missing. It's good information to have in the books and stuff. And people just get up there and they read from the, the template.
Yeah.
I'm not that, I'm more hands-on. And I appreciate that, though. Thank you so much.
It's really.
In order for you guys to learn, you have to do it, right?
Yeah.
You gotta learn how to
No, this was very
open
good.
this up.
You see it, but
Yeah, and then I'd rather have you guys fumble in here than out there.
Yeah.
So now we have to start showing buyers, you know what to do. Exactly. Pop this open.
I just wanted to ask you, so when it comes to the miscellaneous information, when you ask them about the square meter of the house, so they give you a number, like they would tell you it's like 1,500, and then you
Yes.
would go and check it there, you would check the records, right? And then
Yes.
it turned out to be
Tax rolls in the
1,000.
MLS.
So you actually get the number from them, and then you go and compare it to what you have, and then you explain that to them in the listing
Yes.
application,
What
right?
I do is I go into the MLS, I go into Realist, and you can print out the property details report. It's usually
Yeah.
like a 3-page report. And the first time I meet with them, what I like to do is I like to go to like a little pastry shop and buy a little bit, like a little cake or some cupcakes or something like that.
Uh-huh.
And I never show up, I don't like to show up empty handed. I bring something.
Nice.
If they're Japanese and they live in Gardena, I've known them for a while, I go to Sakai Sushi and bring them a box of sushi.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
And then I print out the property details. And I give it to them and I just say, hey, look, I just want you to know this is what the tax roll is showing for your property. Does this look accurate? And they say, oh, yeah, okay, well, it's 1,500. Wow, I thought we were 1,320. Oh, you're 1,500 because you did actually permit. Because sometimes they don't know
Mm,
if that room was permitted. They may have bought it
Yeah,
like that from the
okay.
previous owner.
okay.
Yeah. But that's a whole different,
Yeah.
realm of, how to get into a realist tax, you know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
When you go to realist on the MLS. Yeah, that's where you print out that.
Yeah.
Yeah, 3 pages, yeah.
Okay.
I like to give them that, put it in a folder, just a nice little presentation. And if you have like a brochure about yourself, how you conduct business, put that in there too, and just, hand it to them.
Okay.
We always like to come from giving. You're giving us an opportunity to meet with you for the possibility of selling your house. I want to thank you. Here's a little gift. It's not like we're trying to schmooze them or anything. It's just, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day to even consider us. That's big. That's huge for us. Because now we're at least in the pot. If they're interviewing other agents, at least we were given the opportunity. And that alone was like, gosh, thank you so much. Appreciate that. Here's some cakes. Here's some whatever you want to do. Just little stuff. Don't make it like grand. And then when they sell their house, if you want to have, or somebody buys a house, if you want to give them like a whole Josie's place in Gardena, they have like the best tamales and tacos. Throw them a house party. They'll love you for that. Gosh, they love that. Or even if it's throwing a party, you can just say, here,
Get the food for
Yeah,
the party.
just give them a big tray, let them find out when they're having their party. And then just bring,
Bring it
Bring
that
it,
way.
yeah. Nothing speaks home like a big freaking container of tamales, man. That's what we do all the time. Okay, I guess we're
Yes, sir.
concluded. Thanks
No,
for your input,
appreciate it.
Lamar.
Thank
Yeah, thanks. You guys are awesome, man.
Thank you.
We're, you guys,
Thank you.
yeah. Instead of we working for you one of these days.
you.
No, seriously, how do you think people start? Team leads didn't just become a team lead. They started where you guys are.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're agents at one time. And just climb the ladder, and next thing you know, they're controlling an office. Very good.
I definitely feel like I have a better approach.
Yeah.
It's not.
Cool.
that's just great.
Yeah, just, again, I'm learning by seeing and doing,
Mhm.
you know? That's just me. And
Definitely.
I know I'm very visual. That's how everything's. Tall guy, short wife. Kind of hard to forget. And the big mustache too.
Well, Mayor, see you later, man.
Take care, brother.
Yeah,
Whatever.
man,
Take care. Whatever.
guys, good deal. Thank you. I guess I'm gonna shut this down. Okay, I'll be back. Thanks. Yeah, like I said, that's our middle office. If the door's open,